Okay. Another beautiful day, another episode of the Awakening Room. This is Mike,
And trust.
and we are here with another topic. So today's topic is when intuition contradicts logic. And what do you do? Who do you choose?
Mm-hmm.
Right? So when intuition contradicts logic, who do you choose? For the most part, I guess we break down what intuition is. Intuition is your inner knowing. It's that gut feeling. It's just that thing where you just know. You don't know where you know it from. You don't know where it's coming from. It's just that thing where you just know and you act on it. You don't second guess it. You just go. Mm-hmm. Right. And I guess the logic, well, I guess that can be a wide range. Me personally, I would say the logic is more of how society works. You know, the things that we know it to be, the things that make sense because that's how it's always been. And in these situations, what do you typically side with? Is it more logical? Is it more intuition? I know there's plenty people who struggle with intuition and say they need to trust their intuition more. I guess we all are guilty to that. Mm-hmm. Because a lot of times we are in situations and we may want something, we may want to do things or what have you, and you just be like, well, and if you miss the window and you be like, oh, I should have did this, mm-hmm. You know, like that was your intuition telling you this was the time, like this is when you go. But a lot of times, you know, people don't trust their intuition or they just let it go by and be like, oh, I thought it was just a thought,
right?
You know, so logically, because I guess they think nothing of it or just be like, oh, well, that's not it, you know, that doesn't make sense, and they push it to the side and just continue on with regularly scheduled programming. You know, that's why I say that would be my view of logic. So how do you feel?
I can see and agree that societal teachings can shape a person's logical thinking. So yeah, logic essentially, the way I would put it, is utilizing what you're taught, I guess, in that regard when you loop in society. I do feel like it doesn't have to be necessarily society based, but it is foundationally set upon what you're taught, because, you know, from early we're taught what is supposed to be logical.
Supposed to be.
Yeah. So yeah, in that regard, it would be kind of connected to the collective society and the way things are structured in place. If it falls outside of that realm, then it's considered illogical. You're acting illogically or thinking illogically because you're acting or thinking in opposition to what was taught, mm-hmm. time and time again. So I guess that's the most simple way for me to describe logic.
Uh-huh. You have more to say?
Yeah, I guess my opinion of intuition, I would agree on what you said, is that inner knowing, something that just appears, that gut feeling, like you said. So I agree with what you said about intuition and pretty much on the logic tip as well. And I have noticed, you know, doing sessions and things like that, like you said, it is a common struggle discerning when your intuition is talking to you as opposed to your quote unquote ego. And it's often the word that's used. It's like, well, how do I know it's my ego or it's not my ego and it's my intuition? How do I know this is a divinely guided direction, and it's not just me. How do I know it's not my imagination? That's another one that comes into play.
Yeah.
Imagination versus intuition. How do I know I'm not making this up, or I'm not imagining this? How do I know it's intuition?
Yeah. And I guess to tie in like our personal experiences, I'm gonna go back to when everything first started with us.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, it was a time where we were watching documentaries, and we had some edibles in us. And Trust was sitting behind me. She was sitting on the bed. I was in a chair. We were watching documentaries, and she just was like, "Oh, you have an aura around you." And I was like, "What?" She said, "You have an aura." I was like, "An aura? But what color is it?" She said, "It looks gold." And I was like, "Oh, yeah, that's cool." And I'm like, I don't know what she's talking about, but whatever. That's cool. And we go to sleep, and we wake up to some banging on the hip.
Tapping.
It sound like banging to me, cause I was high, I was asleep.
Tap. It was funny.
And I'm just waking up, and she's like, "Hey, look at my hand," and I'm like, well, "Okay," and she's like, "I'm not moving it."
So pause.
Yeah.
Not moving it. That's here comes where logic comes in. It's like
on my half.
It makes no logical sense that her hand is moving and she ain't doing it. How does that make sense?
Yeah. But again, intuition, you allowed it to go. You had this gut feeling, you had these sensations, your hands started having emotion, and you just was like, okay, I'm gonna go with it. Now I'm waking up and I'm just like, why is your hand moving?
Right. I mean, even for me, logically, it didn't make sense. I'm like, how is my hand, my finger doing something, and I'm not the one controlling it? Because it's like, when you're moving your arms and hands and fingers and you're doing stuff, you're in control of your motor skills.
Yeah.
I was not in control of my motor skills.
Yeah, and not only that, this voice comes, and I'm just laying here, and I'm just watching in the dark. My logic say, yeah, you got to get up out of here. You got to go.
What's that logic?
My logic.
That could have been intuition a little bit too, being like, you need to go.
It could have been. That makes sense to me. Running through the streets.
I'm joking.
With tank top and boxes on because I don't know what's happening.
I'm joking.
But it made sense to me, right? But when you allow these things to flow, when you trust it and you allow it to flow, magical things can happen. Magical things can happen, and again, within the community, the conscious community and things like that, it still is a thing where people struggle with the intuition. It's like you have this thing in the back of your head, you have these feelings, it's like, oh, I really should do this, I want to do this, but you won't do it. It's just like, why?
Right. So I have an example to give. Let's say I'm having a session. I'm doing a reading or whatever kind of session, channeling session, reading, it doesn't matter. I'm having a session with someone, and there's a knowing that drops in. Now, to me, I'd be like, there's no way I can know this. It don't logically make sense because I don't know this person and what they got going on in their life. How would I know they have a family member whose name is Justin? I'm just pulling something out of the air. How would I know that? But in my mind, it'll drop in and I'll hear the name Justin. That is an intuitive knowing. And either I can trust in that intuitive knowing and say, all right, so Justin to the client, or I can ignore it because my logic is like, yeah, you don't know no Justin, so just ignore that. So as Mike stated, the magic happens when you trust your intuition. So being that I received the name Justin, and now I'm going to go ahead and trust that intuitive knowing and say, Justin, do you know a Justin? And then the client's face will light up. Oh my gosh, how do you know that I got a cousin named Justin and this, and... Hey, because my intuition said to say this name and it's going to mean something to them. So if I had listened to, you know, my logical brain and was like, nah, that don't even make sense. We could have been talking about coloring books at that time, and then all of a sudden the name Justin popped up. What does that have to do with coloring books? Logically, nothing.
Yeah.
Right? But my intuition, there's something in there that's saying, no, say Justin right now.
Yeah. I guess another way to to give an example of it, because after um, the channeling and everything started happening, I remember asking you, I was like, what does it feel like?
Mm-hmm.
And you was like, well, you don't feel any type of way. I was like, you don't feel scared, or, and then she was like, well, like, should I feel scared? When you allow these
Mm-hmm.
things to happen, and say she decided to, I guess, panic, right?
Right.
To continue to panic because I said something. Because I was like, you don't feel scared at all. It's like, you're not worried about anything. I kept asking, and she was like, well, I don't know. Well, why should I? And I'm like, I'm just asking. And, you were worried a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
and by that, it could have blocked everything.
Yeah.
It could have blocked everything
Mm-hmm.
because logically or whatever, because we didn't know anybody like this.
Mm-mm.
We've never seen this in person,
Right.
right? So it's like, well, you start to think about it and be like, well, I guess this does make sense. Like, why is this happening? Why am I not so scared? And you begin to panic a bit.
Yeah.
And I guess that's, again, to come back to the beginning, is why I say society wise, because
Mm-hmm.
truthfully, in society, some people get these type of things, they channel in and the voice change, it's a whole different personality. It's, oh, you're schizophrenic.
Or
Yes,
something,
or
yeah.
something. That's
Some
what
kind of
society
way,
would say.
exactly, because
Because
it
that's
doesn't
the
make
logic,
logical sense.
exactly what
It
I'm
doesn't make
saying.
sense that, like, there's no way you're connected to a divine source of information and saying these things. Like, no, this has to be an issue. That's what society logic is going to tell you. There's an issue here. This is incorrect.
Yeah.
You need some medication.
Science and medical test says this thing, so that's not on the list, so yeah, something's not right with you.
Right.
But again, when you're divinely guided, you're always protected, so.
Yes. Just to throw that in
just to put that in there. Little 2 cents.
Exactly. But
Um,
that the intuitive, it feels like, because of our own journey and experiences, it may feel easy for us to say what intuition is, but I can understand how it's difficult to actually define it, because it's like, the more you say, it's that thing that you just know.
I mean, but
It's
how?
a hard definition.
Yeah, but like, truly, how can you really explain
Right.
intuition? Because again, science and like this is not something you can just like pinpoint.
You can't
It's a
really.
it's a it's just this knowing. It's an
Right.
inner knowing. You
Yeah.
know, everyone's gifts are not the same, so you can't
Yes.
speak to everybody the same way.
And
You can't.
it
Some
may show
channelers,
up different.
it may show up differently. Every channel is not the same. Every medium's
Not the
not necessarily the
same.
same. So, even readers,
Yeah.
okay, you're dealing with cards and things of that nature, but it doesn't come to the person the same kind of way.
Right. So for that, I guess, for me specifically, my intuition takes part of my card readings a lot, because I love the moments where you do a reading and you're shuffling the deck and it just flies out, because now I don't have to worry about trying to stop it myself to get the
Right?
message. It's
That'd be
like,
me.
ooh, 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 there it goes, yay, that's the message. They pulled it right out. But I notice over time, doing the readings for me, I will shuffle, 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 and I'll like have this pull, this intuitive pull to stop shuffling. And sometimes my finger will tap the card on the top or the bottom, or I'll start moving the cards off the top to get to the card that's like 6 cards down to pull that one out. However it plays out. But it's not always waiting for the card to reveal itself. It's a pull. It is. It is a gut feeling like, okay, stop shuffling. This is the card. Turn it over. Or stop shuffling. Take 3 cards off the top. That's the card. or however it comes out. So that is a part of the intuition as well. In the beginning, it really threw me off because, you can only go by, I guess here comes that teaching thing. I was going by what I observed from other readers. I would see people do readings, and for the most part, the cards jump out, fly out, slide out, fall out, however they do. And I'm like, that is so cool. I'm like, I can't wait to shuffle a deck and then watch that happen. And I just expected that that's the way it was going to be and should be, in order to know that this is the message for the person I'm doing a reading for. But then when I experienced doing the readings for myself or by myself and I'm doing it and it's not necessarily coming out in that manner, but I'm noticing that I'm getting this sensation when I need to stop, then it's like, okay, I have to pay attention to that sensation. So there you go. Paying attention to the physical sensations that you receive can help you to identify when your intuition is active and working for you. Yeah. That's the best way that I can explain it in that manner, because I know for me, I do get a physical sensation. And it's not just with that, it can be in any other kind of experience and regard as well, outside of doing like readings or channeling sessions. You can be somewhere and all of a sudden your stomach just get into knots. Yeah. And it's like, okay, I don't like this feeling. It's not because I ate something bad. What is this? Or your heartbeat will just start racing out of nowhere. And I'm not susceptible to panic attacks. So I know it's like, okay, I'm not having a panic attack because that's not something that I deal with. Something is telling me something. So it's time to listen. I need to pay attention.
Yeah. And like I said, it's a lot of people. It's not, your intuition is not it's a work in progress, right? It's not something that's just going to come over time. For everybody, it's different, of course. Mm-hmm. But it is something you have to build on, and you have to be aware of. You have to sit and just really be with self aware enough right. to know what's happening at these moments. Yeah. And like you said, it doesn't always have to be with a reading or a thing. Remember, there was a time where because certain things happen, like they like to say, the bigger picture of things. Mm-hmm. Remember the time we were out in the city and we were getting on the train, mm-hmm. and then it was like, as soon as we got in the train car, it was so hot, it was crowded, it was like, oh, and actually you was like, you wanted to leave because your stomach started hurting or it just didn't feel right. Yeah. And then I was like, well, what did you want to do? You want to get off the train? Do you want to go to another car? He was like, let's just leave. That train left, and then we got on the very next train. The very next train was empty. Had AC on. So not only that, we get off at our train stop, and we're coming up, and it was the older lady. Remember, she needed help. And then I asked her, I was like, oh, you need help with your bags? And she was like, yes, please. So I'm holding them. I asked her, like, which direction are you going? How far are you going? And she was saying this way, which we just so happened to be going that way as well. Yeah. And as we're there with the lady, we started talking. I can't remember what it was we were talking about. But, and I was telling the lady, I was like, well, you want me to go to the end of the block? She was like, no, you don't have to do that. I was like, it's not a problem. I can do that. She was like, no, it's okay. It's okay. And, and she just saying how it feels good to have young people that's willing to help and assist and things like that. And
she was saying we were like a really young, nice couple and things like that.
Yeah. So. And after the fact, we just got us like, sometimes you just need to be at the right place at the right time with the right people, because you don't know what it's going to do for them or how it can help their day, or it could just be any kind of way. And it's just things to just go off your intuition. Yeah. Because a lot of times when people go in the train station, they upset or rip. Right. They be, it's too hot. The crowd, like, I don't got time for this. It throws your mood off. It throws everything off. And your thought process is like, look, I just need to keep moving. So logically you would think, well, would this train hurry up and go? Like, I got somewhere to be.
Yeah.
Just leave. And the second we got out the train, the doors
Mm-hmm.
closed and left.
Yep.
And we was like, wow. But the next train came immediately.
Yep.
Much better, much more comfortable. And
Exactly.
so I guess anyway, to get back to it, it's like what is it y'all do, people? Like,
Yes.
is it intuition or is it logic? Like, what typically drives you?
Right. And outside of that, we didn't ask, so I'm asking now, what do you consider to be intuition? What is your definition of intuition? So we like to hear that as well. Your definition of intuition, your definition of logic, and what do you do when the intuition kicks in and it is contradicting the logic that you would come up with?
Yeah. And I think the other issue with some people, the intuition versus the logic, is because a lot of the time with the intuition, you don't know what the next step is. And people are afraid of that unknown.
Yes.
They don't want to jump out there and look crazy or mess something up or miss something or anything like that. So they're like, well, I don't know what that is.
Right.
So, and people typically just go with what they know, which would be your logic, right? So, go ahead. What were you just going to say?
I think that's exactly what it is. The fact that intuition kicks in, and it kicks in right then and right there, and you, like you said, the next step is unknown. And it's, you can't control it. And I think that's a big part of it as well. As people, we like to feel like we have a sense of control because that makes it feel like we have a handle on things. And it doesn't mean that you're a control freak, or anything like that. It's just the fact that when we say we like to be in control, that means we like to know what's happening. We like to have the structure, have the foresight of things. And when we don't, it can be uncomfortable.
Yes.
And that discomfort actually can keep us stagnant. And keep us from experiencing a lot of the great things that we can be experiencing. The intuition kicks in and it's like, boom. And then you're like, okay, but if I do this, what's supposed to be after that?
Yeah, you never know. Again, you don't know the next steps. Right?
Yeah. And that makes you hesitate. It's like, well, I don't think I'm going to do that because I have no idea. Prime example. I've heard a lot of people talk about having this desire to travel or go somewhere different, right? But you don't really know how you're going to get there because, maybe right now it don't seem like the finances align with that. And like, what would I do if I go there? Like, am I supposed to just pick up everything and just go? But you've been having this strong desire to do that. Even without having the logistics all planned out, you just know deep within you just have this desire. I need to be over there. I need to get over there.
It's a pull.
It's that pull. But logically, it don't make sense because, flight is going to cost this much.
Let me go sit myself down.
Yeah, I'm going to sit down because I don't have nowhere to stay when I get there.
Right, how I'm gonna eat?
How am I gonna eat? How am I gonna get around? So logically, that really don't make sense. But you cannot deny that feeling is there, and it's been nudging you and nudging you and nudging you, until eventually, at some point, it's gonna stop. The nudge is gonna stop.
Yeah, that window closes.
That window will close. That nudge is going to stop, and then you're going to be left wondering, dang, what would have happened if I actually went?
What would have happened if I actually went and did what I had the thoughts to do?
Sometimes you have to just trust.
Yeah, and then you fall into that what if game.
Yeah.
And now you're upset with yourself.
Yeah. The shoulda, coulda, woulda.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Shoulda did this. And I just knew. I knew I should have did that. Like, I had the ideas, and all I had to do was do it. All I had to do is take the step. So it's always that thing,
I will say as well, and this may sound like a little more somber, but I don't know. I feel like speaking on this. Maybe it's an intuitive thing. Maybe it'll reach somebody and help somebody. Sometimes we do get intuitive knowings about things dealing with our loved ones, right? Before my father passed, I was getting this strong feeling of, we need to go visit. We need to go visit. We need to go visit. And it just like kept coming and coming and coming. Like the same year that he transitioned at the, towards the end of the year. But earlier in the year, like I just kept having this feeling like I was calling more, and I was like, and I would just sit and I had these thoughts like, dang, we should go visit. Like sometimes that happens too.
Yeah.
And then I experienced it again before my mom passed. Earlier in the year, I just was like some months prior to her passing, I was having that same thought process. Dang, I need to go visit. I need to go visit. I need to go visit. I feel like I need to go visit. Like that feeling was coming up. So sometimes the intuition works in that way as well.
Yeah. Like I said, when you go with the intuition, things is it's magical. Is it just
so just if you get these feelings and these knowings, act on them.
yes,
Because
you have to.
if you don't, then you can miss out. Like I was fortunate to be able to go spend more time with my mom before she actually passed, and I even told my siblings about this. Like, hey, like I really feel like I should get down there. And my brother was like, if that's how you feel, then do it. Like, go.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to like pay attention to those feelings, because they can be they're there for a reason. They are.
Yeah.
No matter what the reason is there for a reason.
Intuition is another sense that people don't use.
It is. It is.
It's that sixth sense.
Truly. That's truly the sixth sense.
It is. It truly
it
is.
is. It's not seeing dead people. The intuition is the sixth sense.
It is. So how else can we go with this? Do we just continue? I mean, because I'm pretty sure people get the gist of it. But again, I wish, I said it the last time, but if it could have been live or whatever, we could have people chime in and, give their accounts. And
that's all right, because we will be, we are open for guests. So just let us know in advance. Like, hey, I would love to be on one of your episodes, and we'll just connect with you and get that all situated. So yes, please, and thank you.
Yeah.
I guess, have we given good examples of when they do contradict each other?
Of when they contradict.
Yeah, when intuition actually contradicts logic. What can be a good example of that?
What would be a good example?
Let's see.
I guess it's interesting, right? We came up with the topic, but we didn't think about that.
What a good example is of contradictory circumstances.
We gave the opposite ends, but how does it actually tie in?
Right. Oh, I wish I had a good specific example. If anybody listening has a good specific example of intuition contradicting logic, feel free to share it with us. And maybe we'll just circle back to it on the next episode.
Listen, we new to this, right? We get our stuff right.
We getting it together. Bear with us. Yeah. Bear with us.
We are, but
I mean, what is what is a contradiction? Oh man.
Well, I mean,
I guess I feel like it's a little hard. My bad.
No, go ahead.
I feel like it's a little hard to come up with a specific example because intuition is very random.
It is, and for the most part, we clearly are on the side of intuition. We try to always go with the intuition. So I try, to make sure I keep any other thoughts out and just go with the feeling. Which I said, it is still a work in progress for a lot of us. Even there's plenty of teachers and that give messages and things of that nature. We all go through it.
Yes, we do.
We all go through it.
And
So,
Actually, I think the example of traveling is a good one for contradictory because
well,
it's
that
like
matter of fact, yeah, that's
I think
perfect.
that's a good one
That's
because
perfect.
when you logically know you don't have you don't have it,
Yeah.
but you that intuition is like
But I'm
yes,
gonna go
go,
anyway.
go,
I'm gonna
go.
go anyway.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah,
That
that's
is a good one.
we actually used this. I was looking for something more, but okay,
Yeah,
we
I
we
know. I was
we
looking for
have
something
touched it.
deeper.
Yeah, we have touched on it.
Yeah. Hmm. Do you think there's a way to strengthen your intuitive perception? Like,
To
can you
just con-
teach it? And I asked that because I did come across somewhere on social media somebody asked the question to someone else: do you teach how to use your intuition? And I believe the person who was asked responded with, there are ways you can train your intuition, but I don't believe another person can teach you how to strengthen your
and
intuition.
that's what I was
Like,
saying.
we can give you tips on how to train and just like listen to, like, look for the cues, the signs, the sensations, things like that. But I don't think you can really teach a person how to strengthen it.
Yeah, that's what I was saying in the beginning. I was like, well, it's just that thing is
Yeah.
different for everybody, so you can't really teach anybody. You can't tell them. You can be like, okay, well, sometimes you'll just, like I said before,
Mm-hmm.
you'll have this thought that just keeps popping up. It's like, oh, go ahead, do this, or whatever
Yeah.
it may be, and just trust it.
Right.
Especially if you feel really strongly about it,
Yeah.
just trust it. Just go with it.
And I guess that would be the way you do strengthen it. The
Mm-hmm.
more you trust it and go with it, then it becomes stronger.
Yeah.
And the more you steer away from it, then the more you'll continue to second guess it.
Mm-hmm.
So that can be, I guess, like the number one way to strengthen it is by go with it, go with it, go with it. That repetition. And the more you go with it and you see what occurs and the connections that you have from it, then you do feel more confident. So it's kind of like just building your confidence in it.
Yeah.
As you build your confidence in it, then it becomes stronger.
Yeah. I think that's good because I guess it could start to drift off to intuition versus ego, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes when you like, well, I'm just gonna go with that gut feeling. Sometimes you can go with that gut feeling, but it could be out of spite or something like that, right? And that's when the
Mm.
ego started coming, and then you will get a feeling in your stomach, but it will be heavy. It have
Uh-huh.
those it just feel like you're not feeling well.
So to your point,
Yes,
as you mentioned the ego
yes.
part of it, that's where you really got to be clear on your
You have to,
discernment
yeah.
because you can be in a situation and like you said, you'll get this gut feeling, but that's because you are now in an emotional state
Yeah.
of anger or whatever it is.
Some people just want to be right, so they're like, "Nah, no, I'm right." And the way you speak, your body language, the way you're talking, you sure that's your intuition
And now
or is that your ego?
Exactly, because now once your responses and thought processes are fueled by the emotion,
Yeah.
I feel like that's a key indicator that is not your intuition.
Yeah.
Because you got to kind of withdraw, take a step back. If you're in a heated argument and you get this feeling in your gut and you feel like, and it pops into your head, punch this person in the throat.
Whoa.
You might be like, yeah, I just got the knowing to just hit you in your throat. Yeah. No, that was not intuition. Yeah, you did get a sensation, but no, you gotta be a little bit more discerning.
And that happens. That happens.
It does.
It happens. And so how do you train it, right? How do you strengthen it? It's for one, in order to not be in, say it again.
Clarity. Be clear.
Yeah, you have to be clear. You have to be balanced.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, if you're not, you get certain feelings and things like that. It can drift on the side of ego and other things. So stay balanced.
And now,
stay balanced, my friends.
Yes. I do want to say, it's not always about anger either. That's
No,
the quick,
no.
that's the
That's the
easiest
easy way.
reference,
Yeah.
to use. But you can also utilize it in the sense of fear,
Yes.
because
Fear's another one.
fear is a big one. Fear sends a lot of sensations through you physically.
Mm-hmm.
And being afraid can present certain thoughts and feelings, but that doesn't mean that's your intuition either. So you don't want to act off of fear, you don't want to act off of anger, and you don't want to act off of the incorrect
Sickness.
application
Yeah.
of love
Okay.
either. And the reason why I worded it that way is because if you just say you don't want to act off of love, you do want to act off of love when it's proper, when it's unconditional. And I ain't going to get too deep into that, but when it's the unconditional love. But when it's, I'm going to say society taught love, when it's society taught love, you don't necessarily, that may not necessarily be intuition either. So all of these things, if you just look at it from the emotional aspect, can be moments where you need to make sure you are balanced and you're clear, so you can discern if that thought that just came to you was your intuition or if it was your quote unquote ego / character.
Yeah.
I don't want to keep the buzzwords kind of bother me a bit. I don't like being like, oh, ego, you're ego driven, ego. I feel like there's an oversaturation of that. But I get that it's easier for people to identify and connect with that kind of terminology. So for that purpose, we go
with that.
I utilize it. But personally, just so you guys know, I kind of like to stay away from buzzwords because I feel like it can become convoluted and lead into a whole plethora of other things. So, yeah. Just letting y'all know my little preference there.
Yeah. So, yeah, so how far are we on now?
I don't know. I feel like we did well. Talking about intuition and logic, what do you trust, and sharing our perspectives, of course, and open invitation for everybody to also share your own perspectives and any practices that you may do that help you connect with your intuition. I know, there's meditation, there's like even doing things like balancing your chakras. We mentioned balance, having Reiki done, and I feel like intuition is connected with the third eye.
It is.
And the crown. I would say kind of conjunction there.
Because for me, meditating was something that I've had to build because, a lot of people have a short attention span. Right? So in order to sit and stay focused and tell that inner voice in your head, because sometimes when people meditate they start overthinking and they internal voices, like to just quiet all of that, because a lot of times when people meditate they really want the visuals, they want to be able to hear, they want that clairvoyance and everything like that, the clairaudience and things, all of that comes with meditating. It's like once they close their eyes, they just think they're gonna see it immediately, or they're gonna hear it, or feel these sensations.
That expectation.
Yeah, they're expecting it. But before anything, you have to quiet your mind.
Yes.
You have to be in stillness. And for me, that helped a lot. And trusting and believing the information that you're getting. So that's how, for me personally, I used to meditate. Like, it's times where I would meditate like 4 times a day, and I loved it. I was so excited. Once I came back, as soon as I finished, I'd be like, "Oh, look what I seen! I seen so excited."
Yeah.
And I would do an hour. One time I meditated for about 6 hours or something like that. I did it at night, and I don't know what time it was, but I think I was moving to readjust myself, and I think I opened my eyes just to get more comfortable, and the sun was coming up. I was like, oh hell no, I'm going to sleep. But when you do it, it becomes the new norm,
Mm-hmm.
and you can stay in that state
Mm-hmm.
for longer. You know, um, so again, certain things like this that helped me.
Yeah.
You know, trusting the visions, the messages that's coming to me.
Yes.
The voices. um, Even though I got scared a couple times. I'm not even gonna lie, but yeah, there's ways. There's a lot of ways.
Yeah. So feel free, you guys, to share the practices that you feel like have helped you, because it can, in turn help someone else. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave those, and we'll do our best to answer any questions that
Yeah.
come across as well.
Mhm.
All right.
Another good episode.
Another good episode. Yay.
Need one of those tracks. The
Right?
applause.
Woo!
Yeah. And like we said, this is our second
Second?
official
Yes.
second official episode. And of course we a little mishaps, I guess, background music, all of that. We forgot that.
Yeah.
But as we continue to grow, to
Mm-hmm.
learn more, our experiences and practices will be better. We're
Mm-hmm.
gonna eventually update our equipment,
Yes.
better sounds, better visuals when we're able to.
Video footage.
Yeah, and we just continue to grow, and I hope y'all
Hope you're enjoying the
enjoying
journey.
the journey with us.
Ashe.
Okay. All right.
All right. Love is love.
Love is love always.